Jamie and welcome to my cross stitching channel. Today is Sunday, January 1st, 2023. I cannot believe it's 2023 already. So anyway, Happy New Year to everybody. If you celebrated, I hope you had a great time. And I also hope that you had a wonderful holiday season, whether you were celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever your chosen holidays were. I hope you had a lovely time. We did. It was very laid back, very low key. We didn't really go anywhere or do anything, just hung out with friends and family, ate some good food, watched football, same old. So, but yeah, it was a good time. So, but I am back today, for a WIP parade. So I'm super excited. The last time I did a WIP parade was in July of last year. So I'm excited to see where my progress is. Just from looking at my previous videos and pictures and things, I'm pretty excited with how much I got done. So it's not on par with what I got done in 2021, but I also wasn't working that year. So I feel like I still did pretty good, even without, even with a full-time job and everything. So anyway, first of all, just to get this done, before we get started on all the WIP parade, I did do a giveaway in my last video. It was a stocking chart from Heaven and Earth Designs that came in a grab bag, and it's not really my taste. So I wanted somebody else to get it and enjoy it. So I'm going to pop in the video of picking the comment. The keyword was stocking. And Anna Stitches Autumn won. So congratulations. I'm going to respond to your comments, letting you know that you won. Also, if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me, you can DM me on Instagram, you can do a comment on this video, whichever way you want to do it. But I will need your address so I can send that out to you. So super excited. I watched, this is a note for anybody watching. Anna Stitches Autumn has been showing her projects on DM's Crafty Vortex. That's Dawn Marie. That's her channel on YouTube. She's been buddying up with Dawn Marie on her videos, and she's been showing her projects, which has been really fun to see what she's working on too. So congratulations, Anna. I will get that sent out to you hopefully soon, but let me know what your address is and we'll get that sorted out. So anyway, so let's jump into the WIP parade. I'm also going to be kind of mixing in year in review, a little bit of 2023 goals, just as a refresher if you didn't watch my last video or if you're brand new here. Also, welcome for anybody who's new. I've seen an increase in subscribers lately, and that's really awesome. Thank you so much for choosing to follow my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed and you like what you see, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, all the YouTube things. So anyway, yeah, it's going to be kind of a mixture of the parade, year in review, goals, kind of all mixed up into one. So we're going to jump into it because I am honestly not quite sure how long this is going to take, but hopefully not too long. I don't have a ton of projects, but it's enough that it might take a minute. This is my drink of choice for today. If you guys like diet soda, this stuff's pretty good. I'm more, just tangent here, I love the 0 sugar versions, not the diet versions, 9 times out of 10. I don't know why. But I might be sipping on that occasionally because it's going to be a minute. So we are going to start with, that was ladylike, I just spit. So we're going to start with finishes that I had in 2022. I had 3 finishes, which were actually all started and finished in the same year. So the first one was Video Game Sampler by Screaming Heart Design. And mine is stitched on an 18 count, is it Barnwood? I think it's Barnwood Ada by Picture This Plus, 2/1 full crosses. And this is what that turned out. Still love this one. I have got to get this one framed. My husband keeps asking about it. So, if you guys like video games, if you don't mind a swear word or two, this was a really fun one. was my first finish. And then the next two were both Stitchrovia patterns. The first one was Let It Snow. Oh, and I meant, before I show that, this was 12,238 stitches total. So the next one was Let It Snow by Stitchrovia. Mine is stitched on an 18 count Royal Christmas Blue Ada, again 2/1, and I just switched the white out for a big 5200 because I lightened the fabric. I wanted the floss to stand out more. So sorry, this is a bit see-through. That is the second finish. This one was really fun. It was just kind of mindless stitching. Like, there's obviously shapes and things that you need to pay attention to, but it's only 2 colors. It's super small. The total stitch count for this was 4,041 stitches. It went really quick. I think it only took me like less than 2 weeks to get the whole thing done. So that was a fun one. And then my last finish for 2022 was Tequila, again a Stitchrovia pattern. And this one is stitched on an 18 count light oatmeal Ada, also 2/1, full crosses. And there's that finish. I apologize if the lighting's a little bit off. It is snowing outside, so the winter light is not great, but hopefully you guys can still see it okay. This one, if you guys really love colorful patterns or like really easy stuff to stitch, Stitchrovia's patterns are pretty awesome. This one in particular with all the colors was really fun. So this total stitch count was 7,359 stitches. And between the 3 of these, I think I got, let's see, 11 plus 12 is 23. I got almost 24,000 stitches between these 3. So that's where a decent chunk of my stitching came from this year. So those are my 3 starts and finishes for 2022. And then we're going to go through my works in progress, abbreviated to WIPs if you are new in the cross stitching world. I have 14 current WIPs, 10 of which were new starts in 2022. So, had a bit more starts than I was anticipating. But as we go through these, I'm going to be telling you numbers, percentages, stitches, all of that kind of thing. In the ones I had goals for last year, where I'm telling you percents, that was based on, so I had a plans video in February, beginning of February on the 6th last year. So all of my numbers are based on that video. I did have a video before that, actually 2, I think. My first one was on January 23rd last year. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy between stitch counts. I probably stitched more than what it's saying because I didn't record this until after a whole month was gone, but that's neither here nor there. It's close enough. It's fine. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm actually going to do restarts first. So these 2 projects were in my WIP rotation from last year, but there were issues with the fabric that I decided I needed to restart them on a different fabric. So the first one was North American Mammals, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart by the artist Ciro Marchetti. I have a whole box of my WIPs here, so hopefully I can do this without making too much of a ruckus or anything. So my new start is on the same count of fabric. I'm still doing 28 count Lugana, but I changed it from 2/110 stitch to 1/1 full cross, and I do not have grids anymore. So here is where I got to. Sorry if you can see through that a little bit. So this is unchanged from the last time I showed it in a video, so there won't be a before picture. The total stitches in this for the restart was 770 for 0.28%. It's a pretty big chart. But as I will so in 2023, I do have a little bit of plans for my full coverage, but not a lot. I'm really pulling back because I'm going back to school next week, and more of the year than not, I'm going to be in school. So I just want to get 1,000 stitches per full coverage piece minimum. If I go over that, that's fine. But I want to at least get 1,000 to move it along and feel like I've actually made some progress. So this is the first of my full coverage. They're going to be interspersed with the non-full coverage. I decided to do it a little bit different this time. So like I said, 770 stitches. So that's the starting point for this year. And it looks like this one will come out as long as I stick to my focus piece rotation that I talked about. If you want a full rundown of that, I talk about it at the end of my last video. I go over all of my plans for 2023. So this one would come up in May and November next year. Okay, and my other restart was Realm of Middle-earth. And this is a restart. This is restart number 3. Could not get my act together, apparently. So I again had a fabric issue with this one. This is a pattern by Tilton Crafts. It is, I believe, retired now. And it is an extra large chart, which is similar to like a super size. Sorry, I always see super size max color all together. I get confused. Super size of like a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. It's really big. It's over 750,000 stitches. But I just restarted it again. So I didn't get a very big start. I actually planned this for a New Year restart, but my husband and I watch Lord of the Rings every year as a tradition for Christmas. And I decided I wanted to start it while we were watching those movies. So I got a very small restart. Sorry about the glare. Can we just take a second? Can you even with this needle minder? It is so pretty. This was a gift from my friend Jen from the Backcountry Stitcher for Christmas. I absolutely love it. I believe it's from Denkai Designs on Etsy, but I'll stop gushing over that now. Sorry about the glare on those. But there's my start. That's my teeny tiny start. I, of course, picked the middle. These are both middle starts, if you couldn't tell. I picked the middle, and I'm right in the middle. If you know Lord of the Rings, this is Fangorn Forest. So it's just loads of confetti forming trees here. So didn't get super far. It got a little bit burnt out with confetti. 320 stitches of confetti it gets to you after a little bit. I'm at 0.04%. I'll get this done in no time. It's fine. There's actually only 42 colors in here, so it's not too hard to make big progress if I get into some of the more like backgroundy type pages. So it's just gonna take me a minute to get there. So those are my 2 restarts that were WIPs before, but they've been restarted. So I'm kind of just resetting the clock as far as the start date on those. Really sorry. This table is wobbly. I hope it doesn't wobble too much. So those are my 2 restarts. And then I will go over my 5 WIPs that I brought into 2022 that are considered my old WIPs. So let's start with, and as we go through these, so for these old WIPs, I will show you from the beginning, like my earliest picture from 2022. I'll show you the comparison of what I got done during the year. If it's a new start, I'm going to show you the comparison of the last time I showed it in a video. So the first of my old WIPs I'll show you is my Winter Sampler, which is a design from Kooler Design Studio, and the artist is Sandy Orton. And I'm stitching mine. I recently, or not recently, but in my mid-year WIP parade, I showed that I was switching back to the original fabric that I had chosen for this, which was, a 32 count ivory Lugana. So this is where we are at from last time. And it will be the mid-year comparison photo here because that was the last time I showed since I last worked on it. I got a lot of progress the last time I showed this in a Flosstube video. And I decided that I would come back to it closer to Christmas time because I got a bit burnt out. I worked on it for 6 days at the beginning of December. So I came back to it on Christmas Eve, and then I worked on it one more day earlier last week. And all I managed to add in since last time was I finished this gingerbread house. If you can see, there's like changing lights and stuff, so it's just so much confetti. So I got real burnt out finishing out that the gingerbread house. And then I came over and I finished out this ribbon, and I was like, I'm done. I have reached enough progress for this year. I'm burnt out, so I just put it away. Maybe I will do like from the beginning and then from last time if it's had progress. That's what I'll do. So definitely got some good progress on this year. That's all I wanted. I just wanted it to be moved forward a little bit because it's kind of just been sitting there, not having much done to it in the last several months. So this one, obviously it's a seasonal thing, so I don't love working on seasonal stuff outside the season. So that one got 9 days total since I guess I didn't work on it at all till December. So yeah, for the whole 2022, it got 9 days of work. I do not count stitches on paper patterns. If I had to wager, maybe a few thousand stitches, maybe anywhere between 2,000 to 4,000 for all of that. I don't know. I stitch slower on that one because it is a paper chart and also because of the massive amounts of confetti, and the pattern has all of the back stitching on top of it. It's not like, sometimes you can get them separate where it's like all of just the symbols and then one with all the back stitching. They just put it together. So it's a little bit more difficult for me to get progress on that one, but I am happy with what I got done this year. So that was number one. The second WIP, let's see, is Tarotown 2. Another Ciro Marchetti pattern from Heaven and Earth Designs. And I had a goal, so a couple of these I did have goals that I was still working towards. This was one of them. I wanted to get a third of the way done with the chart, which was 123,200 stitches. And I may have to back up a little bit to show this. So at my mid-year WIP, or at my February video, I was at 28.26%. So that was about 104,449 stitches. I am now at 33.34%, which is 123,236. So I surpassed my goal by 36 stitches for a total of 18,787 stitches put into this project for 2022. And a lot of these were just recently taken out of the Q-snap, so I am sorry for all of the wrinkles and stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you the before here because it's too hard to get this in frame all together. So before, and here is where we are at now. Oh, I am in love with this. So good. So I did work on this one. Sorry, I need to look at my notes. So I reached the third of the chart done. I put in 3,911 stitches in the last 3 weeks to get to that goal. So I have completely finished the top 2 rows of pages. I did get another page finish over on this side where that balloon, that light colored balloon is. So I'm going to bring it in so you can see the progress from last time I showed it, because this one obviously got a lot of progress, almost 4,000 stitches. So that's where we're at from last time. So like I said, I finished this whole page. Did a lot more of the background and the grays over here to finish out that goal. Because when I finished this page, I still had like 2,200 stitches to go to get the third. I was determined to get it. I was really excited though, because I did not realize some of these shapes were coming in down here. So like there's a wall, which is part of the castle that starts like, you can see on this side. I mean, I've already started a turret. So there's that wall, and then there's another little hot air balloon that I almost finished. And I finished up pretty much this whole ring around here. I got all of these ropes in. Confetti is crazy because this is a max color. If I didn't mention that, this is Tarotown 2 and it is max color. And I am stitching mine on 25 count DMC Magic Guide 1/1 full crosses. And I'm really happy with how that's turning out. So I really would have, it's hard for me, just as an aside, it was difficult for me to whittle down my goals as far as I did for this year, because I am a full coverage stitcher at heart. It's what I prefer to stitch on. I love samplers and things like that, but ultimately the pictures that you can get from a full coverage, it really, I don't know. I find a lot of joy from that, and it makes my brain happy. So having to like pull back my goals so far, where I got over 18,000, almost 19,000 stitches on this year, I'm probably only going to get like maybe 3 this year. So that it's a little bit hard for me to like pull back on it, because I love the picture coming in so much, but sometimes you just gotta be realistic about what you can and can't do in here. So that is number 2 of my old WIPs. My next one is Beloved, another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. Artist is Adele Sessler. And mine is stitched on a 28 count Lugana 1/1 full crosses. And this one has not been worked on for a while. I definitely did not work on this one last time. I didn't show it last time in my Flosstube update. But here is a progress from this year. So I got actually pretty good amount. I started at 9.49%, got up to 12.52% for a difference of 8,956 stitches. So almost 9,000 put into this. I did not think I got that many, because I was feeling like this was, it was lagging a little bit, especially because, I mean, when I put double that in another project, it feels like this one's just not moving very quickly. But I finished all 4 of these pages, so that was a pretty big accomplishment. And I got pretty far over into here. I mean, his face is, I mean, I've only got a small portion of it left, so that's pretty exciting. Love this one. Oh, I forgot to say, Tarotown 2 is slated because I just finished the goal, and that was like a lot of stitches, and I did get a teeny bit burnt out. That one was put at the end of my first rotation of 6 full coverages, so that one won't show up again until June. And then December, looks like. So, and then this one will come up pretty quickly in February. I thought that was appropriate because this is called Beloved. You know, Valentine's Day and all that. So this one will come up again in February and August, which is my birthday month. So but that is Beloved. This is the hard part about doing WIP Parade, because you pull them all out and you're like, now I want to work on everything all at once. Sorry, I've got to keep these organized or I'm gonna have a gigantic mess. So that was number 3 of my old WIPs. Number 4 is Mini Loyalty, another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. This one is by Cherie, Gerhardt, artist. Another 28 count Lugana. I started at 10 stitch, but I am now doing it 1/1 full cross. I have not worked on this since my last Flosstube video. So the stats for the year started at 8.76%. I almost doubled that to 15.84% for a difference of 5,979 stitches. Work with me here, fabric, come on. And you'd think doing this every month, I wouldn't struggle so much with the fabric, but I do. So this is where we got to this year. So like I said, put almost 6,000 stitches into this one. Pretty big difference. Again, some of these I was like, I just didn't put enough work into it. And then I'm like, wait, yeah, I did. You can see it. So I am really happy with that. I would really, probably in 2024, when I'm gonna be soon done with my degree. So I'll be in school for 3 semesters to get my next degree. So, and I'm not sure if I'll keep going after that. So I would like to possibly bring this one into a focus on a finish in 2024, because my full coverages generally are not finished quickly because they're just too big. But this one's a mini. So in comparison, I could get this one done, especially if I can get maybe a few thousand stitches in during the focus months, which are on March and September. I think I could finish it in 2024, because I would really love to start the other ones. These are based on the Harry Potter houses. This one is Hufflepuff, and I've got the other 3. So I would really like to do all of them. And I want to frame them all and put them up together, so. All right, so that was number 4, or no, 5. No, 4. 4. And then my last of my old WIPs is Pandemic, which is a pattern from Long Dog Samplers. And mine is stitched on a 28 count 28 count Helix Lugana in the 28 count Lugana in the color Helix by Picture This Plus, stitched with DMC color 939, which is a navy blue. Let's see, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so I did work on this one since last time. I have put in 2,155 stitches into this. So let's do the yearly one, and then I will show you up close for what I did since last time. So for the year, I started at 41.24%. I am now at 68.75% for a difference of 21,252 stitches. So initially slated for a finish in 2022. It didn't happen. So this is where I am currently at. I decided instead of finishing the last 2 pages to the right, I would go down and start finishing it all the way to the bottom. So that progress there at the bottom, I'm almost to the bottom of the pattern. Just super exciting. This one is slated to be a finish this year. For sure, it's happening. Even if my other stuff doesn't get finished, this is getting finished this year. So I'm going to show you more up close what I did from last time. Hopefully I can get a good before picture. If I can't, it's okay. So since last time, like I said, instead of going over here that way, I've come down to the bottom row. And this is the last page to the bottom in this column. So I think from here, there's about 25 more stitches. So I'm looking at the bottom is right around here-ish. So that's super exciting. I worked on this one yesterday when I met up with my stitchy friends in Salt Lake. That was super fun. But yeah, got some good progress on this one. Over 2,000 this last time. And yeah, this is one of my finishes for this year. It will be. Because I want to start another one. And I'm trying not to start anything unless I finish something. So. Okay. So those are all my old WIPs that came in from 2022. Sorry, 2021 or before. And then all the new starts, let's go through those from 2022. I think I'll go with the least ones that have less progress first. So I did start another seasonal piece. It's called A Christmas Night. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, and I believe the artist is Alexandra Gavrilova, I think. Dropping things everywhere. And I got this one as a freebie off of the Heaven and Earth Designs group a while back. So I think I searched it and it's not, they don't have it listed on the website. So I don't know if you can get it still. I've done so little of this, I'm trying to remember which way it was. So I started this, I don't even remember exactly when I started it, but I have put in 449 stitches or 0.2% of the pattern. It is unchanged. This is all I've done this year. It was like a one-day start. I meant to come back to it in December since it's, you know, seasonal. But I wanted to get those other goals done more. So this one just got pushed to the side. Let's see. So what I did with my goals is the 2 seasonal pieces. I have pushed until, for focusing on them, I've pushed them until next December. So I'll do Christmas Night and the Winter Sampler next December. This one for sure will wait until December because it's full coverage. But where my Winter Sampler, oh, this is stitched on 25 count again, 1/1 DMC Magic Guide. So with my Winter Sampler though, it has Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. So what I was considering doing is just around the holidays, maybe putting in 1 day of stitching on the holiday in the pattern, but I don't know. I'm feeling really burnt out on the Winter Sampler, so I don't know if that will actually happen or not. So we'll see. So that one's not going to come out again until next winter. My next start was the Crowned Heart. This is a modern folk embroidery piece. And I chose to do this as a wedding sampler for my husband and I. We got married on September 3rd this year, or last year, 2022. And I am stitching mine on a 25 count opalescent Lugana. I believe it's just white. So sparkly. So again, this is a 1 day start. It got kind of pushed to the side. So I got 389 stitches for 1.58%. So this is where we are at. You can kind of see the sparkle. It's going to be really pretty when it's done. For now, I am only using DMC. It's a variegated DMC. I want to say it's 92 is the number. It's a variegated green. Goes from dark to light green. That's all I have so far. One of my goals for this year is to pull this out. If the 3rd falls on a weekend, I will pull it out on the 3rd. But if it doesn't, then I will pull this out on a weekend day closest to the 3rd of every month. So I'm either going to work on this because I have tomorrow off work as well. So I'm either going to work on this tomorrow or I might push it to this coming weekend. Because weekend days are just better for me overall. I can spend more time stitching. And I want this to get at least a couple hundred stitches every month. So maybe 500 would be nice a month. Okay. Yeah, so this is, yeah, I didn't write it down. This is the variegated color. Goes from a dark to a light green. Green is my favorite color. My wedding dress was green. Our colors were green and black, I guess you could say. I might do the names in black. I haven't decided yet. We will see when I get there. Okay. So those were 2 of my new starts. And then, let's see. Let's do Fruits of Plenty next. So another modern folk embroidery piece called Fruits of Plenty, which is with the 2021 stitch along. So I'm doing well keeping up on that. I actually didn't even find it until after it was completely done. So, but when I found it, I was like, yep, I need to stitch that. So let's see, I got a total of 8,843 stitches in 2022. Oh, this one has been worked on since last time as well. So I got 1,606 stitches since last time. Total of 8,843 for the year, and I'm sitting at 18.66%. So I'll do the whole project so you can see, and then I will zoom it in for what we did from last time. So this is the whole thing. I am stitching this on 18 count white Aida, 2/1 full cross with DMC colors 820, which is the blue, and 321, which is the red. And I finished this whole motif on this side. That basket, holy cow. That thing's big. That whole motif was big. I kept feeling like I was making a lot of progress. I was like, oh my gosh, I still have half of this left. So it took me 1,600 stitches just to like finish that off. So that's the whole thing for this year. And I'm going to show you just this part so you can see what I did from last time. If I can get it to fold right. Okay, so this is where we're at from last time. Like I said, that motif was that's pretty much all I worked on. I think I did get a little bit of like the red going down this side and maybe a little bit over there. But basically just worked on that bird and the fruit in the basket. So that was a lot of fun to get that one done. I do have a yearly goal for this one. Did I forget? No, I told you when I would work on these. So I do have a goal on this one for 2023 to get to 50%, and I'm currently almost 20. But this one moves really fast because it's only 2 colors and it's mostly blocky stitching. So it doesn't take me too much time to get a decent amount of progress. So that is that one. Like I said, sorry for the the wrinkles. I've had most of these in Q-snaps because I've been like working on them, or I just leave them in there because I'm lazy. I don't like switching them out. I don't like having to switch them out all the time. Okay. All right, so the next one is Paris of My Dreams, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. The artist is Leonid Afremov. And I'm stitching mine again on a 25 count, 1/1 full cross. No, this one is, this is the only one I have that is 2/110 stitch still. And this is a 25 count DMC Magic Guide. This is unchanged since last time. I have not worked on it. But my total for the year was 3,787 stitches at 1.23% done. So that's how far we got. It's pretty good. I didn't really have a goal for this one at all this year because it wasn't even really a planned start. I just kind of wanted to start something, and so I ended up starting this one. Colors are really fun though. It's bright. It's a really nice combination of block and confetti stitching, so you don't feel bogged down by one or the other. So this one will come back up in April and October this year. So that'll be fun. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss any goals. Yep, okay, we're good. So that was Paris of My Dreams. Losing bags. 3 more to go. So my next one was Twisted Band Sampler. And this is a pattern by Northern Expressions Needlework. Yeah, I'll show it. That way I don't have to do so much editing. So that is the finished product. So there are 17 bands in total, and I have finished 7. That's what I got done. Again, this is a paper pattern, so I do not count stitches. Plus it has specialty stitches, and I'm not really sure how to count that. The next time I'm working on it, it will be this specialty stitch band here. Mine is stitched on a 32 count white Lugana, 2 over 1 for the cross stitch, and 1 over just 1 strand for the specialty stitches. Yeah, I did not work on this one since last time. So that's our starting point. I will never get tired of looking at this. I was gifted one of the companion pieces called Twisted Rainbow Sampler, which is on black and it's all cross stitch. I am likely to start that one this year. I don't know when. Might be a birthday start. Might just be because I want to. But I definitely want to do, I'm still debating on whether to do Ada or even weave for the black, because I do have one other project on black, which has been going better recently. But I just want them to be the same size, so when I frame them, they look even. So that's where I'm starting. My goal for this is half a band per month. So if I did that, I would finish another 6 bands next year if I got half a band every month. And that would only leave me 4 bands left, so I could easily finish this in 2024. So get some work on that one soon, now that we're in January. I feel like a lot of these have been kind of in limbo because I've been trying to finish out all of my goals for 2022, and I haven't. These have all been kind of neglected because I've been trying to get all that done. So it'd be nice to come back to some of these I haven't worked on in a minute. So that will be a monthly one. And then my next one, second to last, is Lady Justice. Okay. Sorry, I'm indecisive. So my second to last one is Lady Justice, which looks like this. This is a Mirabilia. Artist is Nora Corbett, I believe. I am stitching mine on a 32 count. 32 count Lugana in the color Evil Queen by Stitch Me. And I'm doing 2 over 1 for all the stitches, except for the metallics, which are, it's just 1 strand. Sorry, I keep feeling like I've missed stuff, but I haven't. So this is another paper pattern, so I do not have, I really don't have days or stitches or any sort of percentage for this one. I wasn't doing really well like writing down stuff in parts of the year because of life and mental stuff and things, so I don't have any other than a progress photo. So she's gotten a lot of progress this year though, so that is where we are starting. She looks amazing and I'm so happy with this fabric. A little worried about it for a minute, but then I started getting all the colors in. I was like, that was a good choice. So a Fancy Lady is definitely a start I would like to do. I have a bunch of fabric and patterns. I just would need to get some floss and then beads and things. So I definitely want to start a Fancy Lady. I was considering doing that as a new start as well, but life and finances and all of that kind of stuff with Christmas and everything just wasn't in the cards this year. So that's where we're starting with Lady Justice. She is my focus piece for January for non-full coverage. So I'm super duper excited about that. And I don't think I mentioned that Realm of Middle Earth is also my full coverage focus piece. So I will have 2 per month, 1 full coverage, 1 not. And Middle Earth would be January. I don't think I mentioned that. January and July, which is, and this one will be January and May. And if I finish it, I won't rotate one more time. If I don't, then it'll come up again in September. So I'm kind of like, if I finish it, which this is slated for a finish as well. So I'm probably halfway done at this point. She still has a lot of dress to go. And her other arm and the sword comes out this way. But that is one I would like to finish next year. Because I do want to start some more fancy ladies. I do have, like I said, I've got like a lot of it kitted up already. It's just floss. So floss and the specialty stuff like metallics and beads. But so that will also be a focus since I want to get that finished next year. Like I said, it's coming up right now because it's a January focus. So I just want to make sure. Okay, so I did have other focus pieces for the month. I will always let you know before the month starts. So I am planning on changing my YouTube schedule to once a month at the beginning of the month. So when I come back at the end of that video, I will always tell you what I'm getting ready to work on for the month following. So for January, it's Realm of Middle Earth, Lady Justice, and then my monthly stuff for the Twisted Band Sampler, Crowned Heart, and then Pandemic and Fruits of Plenty will come in and out as I feel like working on them, because Pandemic is a finish, Fruits of Plenty is 50%, so I do need to get some work on that. So, yeah. That was a big tangent, but all right, my last WIP, guys, almost an hour in, but we're at the last one. Is another Stitchrovia pattern. It is also slated for a finish. It's called Pina Colada Recipe. And we have put in I have put in 3,272 stitches plus the back stitching for the 2 pages I have finished for a total of 65.87%. And since the last time I worked on this, I put in 1,300 stitches exactly, and I've finished 2 pages, like I said. So, sorry again, it'll be a little bit see-through, but that is where we're at. Looks so good. I stayed up till like, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, like 2:30 this morning. So we were up, you know, for the new year. And then I got real carried away getting the back stitching finished on this page on this side. And I just couldn't stop until it was done. So, but I had finished half of the pages, more than half of the stitching, because that Pina Colada glass in the middle is almost done. Yeah, that's coming along really well. And I'm hoping, so this is coming up again in April. And then I have a slate again for August. I'm not sure it'll make it all the way to August. In April, I'm really going to try to push to get probably all the stitching done, because there's like 1,500 stitches left in the whole pattern. So I'd like to get this done in April when it's a focus, if I can. So we'll see if I can make that happen. And then in August, for my birthday, maybe I can just pull in a start or 2. So we'll see. But I'm super happy with how that's coming out. I love with the back stitching, it's really made it pop. So it's cool to see that. That's all my WIPs, guys. Almost an hour later, but we're done. So yeah, lots of stitches this year. So my total stitch count, which again, as I said at the beginning, it's probably off. It's probably significantly higher, especially because I do not include paper patterns, specialty stitches, backstitch. I don't include any of that in my stats. So as it sits with regular stitches, 96,442. So my wager would probably be closer to 115,000 if we're adding in everything I've done. But that's, like I said, I may have gotten closer to like 150,000 in 2021, but I didn't do too shabby, if I say so myself. So, anywho, so like I said, in January, I'm going to be working my focus pieces. Full coverage is Realm of Middle Earth, Non-full coverage is Lady Justice. And I will also pull in those monthly things as well. So I'm excited to get started on all of that. I do have, obviously today's Sunday, I don't work, but I have tomorrow off as well. So I might dig into some of those goals starting tomorrow. So, all right, everybody. I think that's going to do it for me today. Again, I hope you have a wonderful 2023 and that everything goes your way. I will be back on, let's see, I need to look at a calendar just to be sure here. Let's see what day it is, February 1st fall. Yeah, I can probably do that. I usually film on Sundays. Obviously, this in January, it just fell really nicely on a Sunday. February, it's on a Wednesday. I still think I should be able to come back on the 1st of every month. So I will be back on February 1st to show you everything I've worked on. And until then, guys, stay safe, stay well, get a lot of stitching done, and I will see you next time. Bye.